I'm talking to A. Is he really a creep? So this is how it started. After recently turning 18, I decided to download Hinge since dating wasn't really working out for me. I received a ton of requests, but his stood out to me. Let's call him Michael. He DM'd me complimenting my style and wanted to get to know me more, since I seemed down to earth. So eventually we started talking more until we took it to Snapchat and basically started asking each other questions about our interests and such. After the first couple weeks of talking, we instantly clicked and shared everything with each other. We became sexual pretty regularly. And after a month, when my parents went out of town, he asked to meet up. So at 2 a.m., he bought me an Uber to his apartment and I successfully made it there. He greeted me, showed me around, and then took me to his room. I was kinda nervous because I was hoping he wasn't a kidnapper or anything. But he constantly asked if I was comfortable being around him. So anyways, while I was at his house, we were in his bed watching TV and he put his arm around my waist. Since I was sitting up, he was laying on his back with the pillows propped up. He then told me he was getting hard and wanted me to get on top of him, but I was nervous. So I was being reluctant with my answer until he started fingering me. Pulled it out. And that's when I gave in. We did more sexual things until he finished and it was hitting 4 a.m. so we decided to go to sleep, since we both had to work. Well, here's the part I kinda feel iffy about. While I was half asleep, I felt his hand rubbing my thigh and then slowly move down my shorts and he ends up fingering me, which woke me up unexpectedly. I didn't know how to feel about this, but I did consent after he started to do it. In the morning I went home satisfied, but now that I'm realizing the age difference and all the other factors, I am not sure if it's a bad thing that I feel this way. I really like him, and I'm hoping he's not just some creep that talks to me because of my age. It's not often that our conversations are sexual. It's mostly friendly and joking around. So it gives me hope. We're pretty loyal to each other. And he showed me his messages before, which also gives me hope. But I just don't know what to think after hearing all the other Reddit stories of their significant other being a weird pedo. We're planning on meeting again soon, so I want to know if I'm making the right decision. He's the first person that makes me feel like I have nothing to worry about. But maybe it's too good to be true. Someone give me advice on what I should do, please. TLDR 18F slept with 32M and he touched me while I was half asleep. I consented after. Is this normal, or should I be concerned that he's a creep? I'm way more concerned about the fact that he clearly does not respect your boundaries than his age. Run, don't walk. Creep. The fact he brings you over at 2 a.m. for a first meet shows it's only sexual to him. Please be more careful, OP. It could have ended in complete disaster. The fact he's touching you whilst asleep is a red flag. Hang out with guys your age, or a little older if you like mature. He's not a knight in shining armor. He's a creep who wants to get into a teenager's pants. Okay, look, I'm a 40-year-old man. I don't even really start acknowledging women as romantic interests until they're in their late 20s. And I really prefer 30s because the age gap isn't as bad. It's just weird to me to check out young women who are just barely old enough to vote or drink. Y'all ain't even started living life yet. So yeah, he's a creep. I'm a 39 years old guy and can tell you just by reading your post title that yes, he 100 is a creep. He's a creep and a sexual predator. He touched you while you were half asleep. That's assault. If you hadn't woken up, he probably would have violated you further. You're feeling iffy about this because you know it wasn't okay. Please listen to your gut instinct. It's there to protect you. In the future, your first meet up with someone you don't really know should be in a safe, public place during the day. Oh, he's for sure a creep. He absolutely pursued you specifically because of your young age. Make no mistake. This is not the man you are going to have a life with. If you want, he can be someone you have some sexual fun with, but don't be naive enough to think this will last long term or that he's not using you for anything other than sex. I'm sorry, but your best option is to not speak to him again and block him. The half-asleep thing is very concerning. Also, at the ages of 18, 19 and even 20, although we are classed as adults, we are still learning ways of life. So we are young and sometimes naive. Trust me, I've been there. And older men like him will pick up on this and play on the fact that you're an adult now. I was 19 dating a 30-year-old, and looking back years later, he had no business being with me. Please get out before something worse happens. And take this as a life lesson. I hope you're okay, X. Yes, he's a creep. A 32-year-old man talking to a 18-year-old girl is a creep. He's using you. Similar age gap to someone I dated. He had sex with me in my sleep. I consider it saw and immediately blocked him in every way I could. A few months later, he got an 18-year-old girl pregnant with twins. He's attracted to your youth. And he doesn't respect your boundaries. This can, and most likely will, escalate. He is a creep. Run away. Run away. I wasted 7 years of my life with someone who was 33 when I was 19. We broke up when I was 26 and she was 40. Run away as fast as you can, babe. Please don't waste your youth with an old creep who can't get someone his own age. I'm a 31-year-old woman and I couldn't even imagine contacting an 18-year-old boy friendlier sexually in any way. Def creep. Block. Stop being naive. OMG, yes, he's a creep, plus inviting you over at 2 a.m. You were just a booty call. This isn't a relationship, it's a situationship. It's a hookup. In a relationship, he takes you out to do things together and get to know each other. As for the consent stuff, you went to his place late at night and consented to sex and stayed after. Then later he started touching you again. Do expect him to ask verbally, is this okay, each time he touches you? That's just not natural human behavior. You can just say stop or move his hand away next time if there is one. Girl, block that MF and never respond again. FR. I'm a 31-year-old guy and this is 100,000 creepy. Very creepy. Fact that he messed with you while you were half asleep is disgusting. Hate to say it, but he's just waiting until you give him the okay to have sex. Fingering move was a test. I speak from experience. Is this a real post? A guy messaging any female at 2 a.m. only wants one thing. Age gap is definitely a problem, but so is your questionable choices. If you're even asking yourself this question, I think you already know the answer. I'm 27 and have a hard time relating to feeling like 22-year-olds are peers. An 18-year-old feels like a child to me. Why do you have your age range set so high? I'd personally lower it to low 20s. Yes. I didn't even have to read the whole story. But I did. I am 32 and an 18 years old would never cross my mind to date. It's not right. And his behavior, including the Uber at 2 a.m. He Ubered you like UBERING a McDonald's meal. It's so creepy, incredibly inconsiderate of your safety, so disrespectful. Big red flag for a weirdo having a fantasy. No, no. No, no. Yes. I'm a 28 meters. And anyone under 25 is just kiddo to me. He's a fucking creep. Please don't buy into any of his bullshit. It's all a fucking lie. And you have no idea how many times I've been ignored when I know what I'm talking about. Older dudes that date teenagers will lose interest when you get older. Expect to be replaced with someone younger. This guy is a predator. You need to leave the dating apps alone and socialize with women friends.